Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the horror comedy Freaky, hitting store shelves along with the action drama Greenland. The sci-fi thriller Elysium is getting a 4K upgrade, and Scream Factory is releasing a steelbook edition of the 1981 holiday horror classic, My Bloody Valentine, plus much, much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we're in at Walmart, and oh man, take a wild guess, guys. Just take another wild guess that we have nothing new this week whatsoever to show off. You damn right, man. Same stuff, tenants. They just can't seem to get rid of Honest Thief, can they? Oh man. However, look, they do have stuff from last week. Actually, they have Let Him Go, and they have Breach, they have Wild Mountain Time. It's kind of weird, guys, right? Because I always tell you that this Walmart is like a week behind. Like, seriously. Like, and I guarantee you next week we're gonna find things like Greenland and Freaky here. I guarantee it, man. I mean, for the most part, that's it, though. I mean, there's nothing else new. I mean, they're still putting The War with Grandpa into the new releases. Okay. Yeah, I hate to say it, man, but this Walmart, well, is a week behind. If it was this week, like, like last week's releases, hey, they'd have some stuff, right? They'd have some things. But I hate to break it to this Walmart, but it's not last week. It's this week. And unless Let Him Go can magically turn into Freaky, I doubt that's gonna happen. So yeah, another week behind for this Walmart. Maybe better luck next week. Well, maybe this week's releases. Better luck next time. Oh, this is just awesome. Really? Oh my god. I said to myself, there's two big releases this week. I mean, Freaky, of course, and Greenland. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this Walmart's gonna have to have at least one of them, right? I mean, it's a big enough releases this week that they've got to have at least something. Nope, not at all. They have stuff from last week, not this week, and expect the same goddamn thing next week. I swear to God, unless they prove me wrong, man. And look, this Walmart has in the past, so I'll stand corrected if it happens, guys, but I highly doubt that, man. I truly do, dude. And honestly, they're not really even stocking much at all, man. I mean, seriously. This side wall is in pretty rough shape. You've got those little side areas right between sort of the aisles that has like pretty much nothing at all. Yeah, it's pretty rough here, man. I mean, I'm not saying to not maintain the physical media stuff all the time, because, physical media, unfortunately, I hate to say it, is not as important as it used to be, but, I mean, still, you gotta maintain it, dude, and get in the product and the new releases. Again, people are gonna shop elsewhere if they can't find the stuff here. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty obvious. I mean, nice that they have some releases, but that was last week. What about this week? Well, better luck next week, I guess. Maybe one day this Walmart will improve. Until then, well, I'll just continue to wait. And I guess you guys will have to as well. No physical media here, but maybe at the next place. Let's hope. All right, we are at our second location, Target. But before we go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something, okay? So, the Digital Entertainment Group, they released their initial year-end home entertainment 2020 report. Oh, let's see what this one offers us, shall we? So basically, what it comes down to is that physical media last year dropped 25.6% from 2019. That's another big drop. They were thinking 20%. No, it ended up being 25%. Not a good sign, guys. However, the thing about it is a lot of those people during their initial expo talking about the report, they didn't really want to talk about physical media all that much. Yeah, they said a few words, but that's not what they really want to talk about. They want to talk about digital. And let's get there. So, consumer spending on digital home entertainment was a whopping $26.53 billion. That's with a B. For 2020, a massive 32.58% from 2019. That includes electronic sell-through, video on demand, and subscription streaming. Clearly, this was boosted by the pandemic, obviously. Now, this is what the various DEG Expo panelists were eager to talk about. Not physical media. The discussion was mostly about premium video on demand, subscription video on demand, transactional video on demand, transactional VOD delivered through a cable or satellite TV service, and transactional VOD delivered through an internet service such as iTunes, Amazon Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Now, all these categories experienced significant growth in 2020, a trend that's expected to increase in 2021 and beyond. Now, basically the takeaways from the expo turned out to be this. Physical media is rapidly becoming the niche product in consumer digital home entertainment compared to digital. The new normal in the theatrical business is going to look very different than it did before 2020, but will probably not begin to fully reveal itself until mid-2022. And it seems like digital and those trends will likely accelerate in 2021 and above. So basically what I gather with that report, guys, honestly, is that physical media is done. It's over. Digital reigns supreme, baby, and we either get on the same page or we suffer the consequences. That's it, guys. It's done. So, should I wave the white flag? Should I do defeat? No, of course not. What the hell? Me? Raise a white flag? Never, guys. Look, what they fail to understand is the digital bubble will one day burst. It's not going to be this year. It's not going to be next year, nor the year after that. But the digital bubble is going to burst eventually. And what they don't see, well, I guess for me is that I look at these reports, right? And they come out with these analysis and they get these big wigs from these companies to do these analysis and reports and everything like that. And it's all fancy. It's all cool. But, you know, I see the trends on these sites. I see people at these stores buying physical media. I see, you know, people that are reporting about, you know, the interest growing and more of these DVD players and Blu-ray players, 4K selling a little bit more. And I just wonder, where's the disparity a little bit in all this? I kind of wonder that, man. Where is, the balancing act? Because this is what I've kind of been telling you guys all along, is that these analysis, these people out there who are saying physical media is dead, the more they say it, the more people get convinced by it. And they look at physical and they see, God, this is really a dying trend. And they look at digital as being the savior. But I gotta tell you, as much as I do enjoy digital and I watch a lot of stuff through digital, I just don't see where physical doesn't have a place in this world. Especially considering that there's a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows that are on the physical format that will never, and I truly mean this, will never come on a digital format whatsoever. They will get lost in the shuffle over time. That's just pure fact at the end of the day. That's pure fact. Also, look, do you think that with these digital streaming services and the prices, do you think they're going to remain the same? Do you honestly think that they're gonna, oh yeah, the 6.99, yeah, we're just gonna keep that for the next like 5 years? They're not gonna do that, guys. They see the demand, they see people leaving cable, they see that people are looking more into these streaming services, and do you think they're just gonna keep 6.99? Fuck that, dude. They want more money. It's greed. They're gonna charge more money. They're doing it already. Look, I'm not gonna deny, not for a single second, I'm not going to deny that physical is becoming more niche. That's an obvious fact. Nobody can ever deny that. But what I will say, guys, honest to God truth here, is that to say that there's not a place anymore for physical, to basically have us raise the white flag, that's also a false fact at the same time. You know, I've always talked about coexisting, and I truly feel that we can coexist. We can coexist with the physical and the streaming, and we can make an effort to have both in harmony. Because we have to recognize digital is not going away. But we also have to recognize that if we don't keep our due diligence forward and support these physical media companies and the format and a lot of these releases, that the studios are going to give up on physical. And that physical is literally going to go the way of the dinosaur. Because, these small expo analysis that you're seeing, they're already propping up digital in a big bad way. If the companies still see a huge decline, then why would they continue to go with physical? They're going to keep on the digital platform. The only problem is that I think the choice is just not going to be there. I really don't think it is. And I think physical is a place where you can have the preservation of the media. You can have these forgotten gems and these unknown films still have a place within the world. Saying that digital is going to take over the modern world and that there's no place for physical just seems wrong to me. And I feel like it's a false narrative that we're putting out there. But unfortunately, you and me, we're not the majority of people. And I hate to say that. And going forward, if you keep on saying it enough, the mass population will believe it. And it's just our little corner of the world that has to fight back. Good luck on that one, guys. Easier said than done, but I'm very curious as to what you guys are thinking about with that one, man. But in the meantime, speaking of physical media, well, let's go into Target. And look, man, Walmart was a huge ass disappointment. I kind of hoped it wouldn't be, but I figured it would. Where will Target go in the whole grand scheme of things? Well, I mean, let's hope it's better than Walmart. That would be a first step. But hopefully it'll have some good physical media to check out. Let's hope, guys. But the only way to find out is to head inside, so let's check it out. All right, we are in at Target, and actually there is a few releases worth talking about here. Thank the Lord. So much better than Walmart, man. So much better. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the DVD of Freaky for $19.99. Actually, I should say the Killer Switch edition for $19.99. Very nice. I love that cover. Catherine Newton looking badass and Vince Vaughn in his I'm so scared mode. That was so great. A bloody body swapping blast. Definitely, I would say that, man. Now, John and I did a movie review on Freaky. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I also put a link down in the description if you want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. Now, I gotta admit, okay, I was interested in this for a few reasons. One, I'm a fan of horror comedies. I love them. I love a slasher flick. It's R-rated. It's going to have the blood and gore in it. And body swapping is kind of cool too, okay? There's some cool body swapping stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's got some points going for it. On the other hand, it's also got Vince Vaughn, and that's where I'm a little bit leery on it because as much as Vince Vaughn can be fun, Vince Vaughn can also kind of ruin a movie at times, maybe a little over the top, maybe a little too cheesy for his own good. I'm like, putting Vince Vaughn in this, it can either be a benefit or it could be a hindrance. And I got to admit that it was honestly a benefit. I mean, truly, it's such a really great movie, basically about this killer played by Vince Vaughn who is going on this rampage, and he tries to kill Catherine Newton's character, who's this sort of meek high school girl, and some sort of, well, freaky stuff happens, and they end up switching bodies, where now he is actually technically the sort of meek high school girl, and she's sort of the evil badass killer. And it's sort of like, it's sort of the complications of that, it's the comedy of it, and it's the unsuspecting way that a chick can go into high school and start murdering all the people that deserve to be killed in brutal ways. You know what, man? This was a fun one. I mean, truly, it was just a really, really fun film overall. I thought the performances were really well done. I thought Vince Vaughn was hilarious here. He's absolutely funny as hell. I would almost say that he kind of steals the show in a little bit. I mean, he's great as the killer. The killer stuff that he does, especially in the beginning of the film, is awesome. Like, he's channeling Jason Voorhees, he's channeling Michael Myers. I mean, he's going for it. He's really effective. But once he sort of plays the meek high school girl, it's like full on Vince Vaughn hilarity. He does so good in that role, man. Catherine Newton is badass as well. The blood and gore here, when it's R-rated, it is truly R-rated. The blood is flowing here. The gore is all over the place. And it's a real great homage to a lot of other really great slasher stuff. You know, whether it's Halloween or Friday the 13th or The Shining. Like, there's a lot of really great homages. And I got to admit that it really feels like a movie that's paying a lot of respect to stuff that came before it, but just trying to have a lot of fun at the same time. The characters are quirky. There's a lot of the same sort of high school stereotypes in there mixed with a hardcore slasher flick. But I think the combination works really, really well. The performances are well done. It's honestly really fun and hilarious. It has some cheesy moments, but I think overall you come across this film, and at the end of it, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. You're going to laugh. And honestly, I think you're going to come away thinking this is probably one of the better horror comedies that I've seen in quite a while. I was prepared to be a little hesitant on Freaky, but after watching it, man, I gotta admit, dude, this movie was fucking awesome. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Greenland for $24.99. Oh, some really great meteoric disaster. Yes. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, man, and I'm not gonna lie, okay? I was kind of hesitant on this one too, mainly because of Gerard Butler. I mean, not gonna lie, I sometimes like Gerard Butler, and then sometimes I kinda don't. But I like the idea behind the film, so I was definitely gonna give it a go, man. And basically, it's about this meteor that is coming down to Earth, and it's basically going to destroy the planet. They pretty much said it's going to destroy it, and you know, you can try to get to safety. There's some people that have been chosen to possibly maybe survive this in an underground bunker that the government has. And it's just Gerard Butler and his family trying to survive this, trying to get to safety amid all of the chaos and the craziness that is going on, of just people realizing that the world is coming to an end, and it's just a fight for survival at this point, and that's what it is. And I gotta admit, man, this was pretty damn good. I mean, truly. I will admit, though, that it was a rough watch. And not saying rough watching that it was bad, but rough watching, like, it was tough to see humanity act like this, man, truly. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I see a disaster like this happening, like a meteor coming down and gonna destroy the world, And I hate to admit it, but it's movies like this that is kind of like, wow, this is actually what society's gonna do. Like we're gonna turn on each other, and we're gonna be like an- animals and evil fucks, and just basically turn on one another, and the betrayals and the disastrous effects that it's going to have on us, on our psyche and our being. I mean, we'd like to think that everyone's going to be like happy go lucky and we're all together and kumbaya and shit, but I'm not going to lie, guys. The honest truth is that we're not. And, you know, some of us are going to be the first ones to start looting and killing, and it's just going to happen, man. That's just what's going to happen. It's the honest to God truth, man. But it was just kind of fascinating to watch it. And it was kind of fascinating just to watch the whole idea of humanity turning against one another, and the idea of how either how we totally disregard the world and turn into complete and other, savages, or we start to really learn what's really truly wonderful in life and cherish it and try to save it. And it's kind of an interesting dichotomy that I think Greenland does really, really well, man. I got to admit that the performances are really well done here. I really like Gerard Butler here being this fatherly protector, being this guy who's trying to find his family's safety and protection. I really did enjoy that one a lot. I thought it was really, really well done there. I like Marina Baccarin as the mother, the protective mother who doesn't really see the importance in things until it's really hitting her head on with the disaster stuff. I thought that was really well done. I also really like the disaster stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, we don't get a lot of the disaster stuff. Pretty much, I mean, it's sort of here and there. I mean, we see disaster happening, but sort of widespread disaster, it sort of comes in bits and pieces. But when it does happen, it's really spectacular, really well done. The CGI is amazing. I love sort of the destruction of of the world and of sort of humanity. It's just a really good character dissection of like what would happen when like the world is coming to an end and we either have to choose to come together or be torn apart. And it's very, very fascinating, man. I just like stories like this being told in this sort of great sort of sci-fi action way. I thought the action was cool. I like the dramatic effects. I like the idea of the destruction. Overall, man, it's not this big sprawling meteoric disaster movie that maybe people expected, like it would be like an Armageddon or something, but it's a really good dramatic tale that has some really good disaster moments to it that I think really works. I mean, it's close to a 2-hour movie, so it is a long film, but for the most part, I was entertained and I thought the drama was really well done. So honestly, even though I was a little hesitant on this one, I actually thought Greenland pretty much delivered. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Wander Darkly for $16.99, the DVD for $14.99. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I didn't really know what to expect about this movie because I didn't really know much other than Sienna Miller and Diego Luna are in it. That was about it. But what I was about to experience was very interesting. Basically, it's about this young couple who has a newborn child, and they get into this car accident, this really deadly car accident. And what transpires from there is a very unique take on looking back at their life and their mistakes and their difficulties and their love for one another. But it's set within the backdrop of, is he dead? Is she dead? Is both of them dead? What's exactly going on? Are we experiencing the afterlife? What exactly is going on here? And I like how it's framed in that way, because I gotta admit, if you look at it on paper, the idea of this couple, the story of their life and their love and their struggles with one another, you'd kind of sit there and be like, okay, this is really boring. This is boring. This is uninteresting. It's gonna be a snooze fest. And I, I don't, I guess I couldn't blame you for thinking that, guys. I mean, honestly, I couldn't blame you at all, really, because you wouldn't really be wrong too much. But for me, I was willing to give it a chance, but I understood that it had the potential to be a really big bore, essentially. But how they framed it and how they made the movie and worked around a boring idea and made it fascinating was really unique and interesting to me. I'm not gonna lie, man, because I like that they go through certain times in their lives and they sort of explore it as almost as if they're experiencing it for the first time and talking about it. Oh, this is how you met her, or you were gonna cheat on me, or oh, this is gonna happen, and it's almost like their life flashed before their eyes in a lot of ways. It's very unique and very fascinating, man. And I also got to admit, guys, that the performances here are really fantastic as well. Sienna Miller does a good job. Diego Luna does as well. You really understand their love for one another. You really feel this relationship. You feel their heartache, their disappointments in one another. You honestly, you feel it all. And it works. It really does. And they make you buy it. I mean, they really do. And, you can kind of look at this movie in a lot of ways, almost like Ghost or something, I would say, right? Where like somebody who's dead or, on their way to the other part of the afterworld that is sort of reconciling with their life and the person that they love and trying to come to terms with things. This is very much that type of movie. I mean, like I said, you look at the idea behind this movie and you're like, oh, it's kind of like a sort of like going through their life and love as a couple, and you think to yourself, oh, okay, we've seen this before. We've seen a lot of these love story movies before, The Story of Us and so many other ones, and they're ultimately not bad, really, all things considered, but we've seen so many of them. And I think this could have been another, sort of walk down memory lane type of movie. And that would have been fine, but been there, done that. But with this idea of the car crash and the idea of possibly they're dead and they're re-experiencing their life with one another and their dilemmas, it turns into something much more unique, much more fascinating, and something that is a little bit more refreshing. I was not expecting this with this movie. I didn't know what to expect, but this one really surprised me, man. If you like love stories, if you like, going through somebody's life and love with one another, and you feel like you've seen it all before, trust me, when it comes to Wander Darkly, you haven't seen everything. They also have the Blu-ray digital of The Little Prince for $14.99 and the DVD for $12.99. It's the first time that they've hit on Blu-ray or DVD. I don't know if I've ever actually seen The Little Prince or not. I don't think I have. I know I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever actually seen the movie before. Huh. From the director of Kung Fu Panda comes this critically acclaimed tale of a classic story. There's a little girl with the beginning of the magic. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever actually seen this, guys. I don't think I have. I've heard people really love this movie. I've heard really good things about it, but I've never actually watched The Little Prince. Not that animation is always the thing I gravitate to the most, I'm not gonna lie. It's not really one of my favorite go-tos, but I've heard a lot of people really love this one. It's something that people really enjoy, but again, it's something that I've never actually dived into before. But a lot of really great actors in this thing. Bridges, McAdams, Rudd, Cotillard, Del Toro, Gervais, Giamatti, Albert Brooks. Jeez, there's a lot of people in this thing. I may have to give this thing a look. I mean, it's interesting. First time on Blu-ray and on DVD with a decent amount of special features a little bit. Is The Little Prince worth it? Okay, definitely got to let me know about that one. That does look interesting. Other than that, that does it this week. I mean, some decent stuff here at Target. Not half bad, man. Unfortunately, they still have some copies of 50 Shades Trilogy. Why haven't they burned these yet? Why? Why keep them here? Why are you torturing me? God help me. Other than that, some really interesting stuff, man. And not half bad. Hey, Target has some physical media this week, and I'm a happy man. All right. Let's head out. Target came through this week. Thank the Lord, man. Look, they didn't have a ton, but they had the two big releases, and they had a couple of smaller things as well. Not bad for Target. And look, sometimes Target is good, sometimes Target is bad, sometimes they're downright ugly. And other times, strangely enough, they end up actually helping to save the week. And this one was actually helping to save the week. How weird is that? I don't get to say that very often with Target, but this week, yeah, I kind of do have to say it. They did a damn good job, dare I say, and props to them, man. Not half bad, dude. Not half bad at all. Hey, any media is good media, and they ended up pulling through this week. Not half bad. Thank the Lord. All right, let's head to the next location, and hopefully more media to check out. All right, everybody, we are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm gonna go in and see if there's any interesting indie titles we're checking out. If there is, I will go back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off for you guys. But before I do that, I gotta talk about a trailer. It's a quick trailer. It got released during the Super Bowl, but I know a lot of people are definitely talking about it, and that is M. Night Shyamalan's Although creepy people maturing. How could you turn that into a horror movie? Well, M. Night definitely seems to have done it. So I watched the quick Super Bowl trailer. It's not a full trailer, but it's just a quick one to get it out there to the people, say it's coming. And I gotta be very honest with you guys about this. First of all, the trailer looks great. Okay, I like the idea that this couple, along with a lot of other people, are on this vacation, this beach, and I don't know whether it's the beach itself or something, but it's turning them older. Like, people who are kids are now, like, fully grown people. Women are eventually just, like, somehow getting their bellies completely, like, 9 months pregnant. And like, what the fuck is going on here, man? And it's like, they're terrified, and they were like, we've been chosen. I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm like fucking, I don't know, you know, I'll swim out to another beach, you know, fucking get me a casket. I don't give a shit. Get me off of that fucking place, man. That's it. Okay, fuck that. Haven't been chosen for shit. Okay, but they got to figure out the mystery or whatever, man. I don't know, dude. You know, I think the trailer has its moments, and I like the mystery aspect to it. I like the idea of the creepiness of, like, suddenly these people are growing in size and just getting mega older and old age, and it's just a combination of, like, just what the fuck, and just the whole confusion of it all, and the terror of it. I thought me slowly getting older was terrorizing. No, growing old fast. That's terrorizing, folks. It looks good, and I'm looking forward to the bigger trailer. I'm looking forward to eventually the movie. However, man, I have a real love-hate relationship with M. Night Shyamalan. Am I the only one? Because Man, I will give it to that guy. He is brilliant. When he is on fire, he is on fire. Okay? I mean, for every great Sixth Sense or Unbreakable, which is amazing, you get A Lady in the Water or The Happening, where you're just like, what? Like, I mean, and it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because we propped up M. Night Shyamalan. I remember when Sixth Sense came out, and like there were covers of magazines that were calling him the next Spielberg, man. There were like people that were like, this man is brilliant. And even though I love that movie, I was always a little bit kind of hesitant to sort of reign this guy as sort of the new supreme leader of filmmaking. I always was. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, and later movies sort of prove that. I'm not saying that he's not a good filmmaker when he gets it right. I mean, movies, like I said, like A Sixth Sense or Unbreakable have been amazing. The Glass trilogy, for the most part, has been really cool. I mean, when he's on, he's on. But I mean, you look at a movie like The Village, where it kind of falls apart. And then you got like Signs, and Signs is pretty decent, but it does have its moments. See, M. Night has been really hit and miss for me. I mean, he really has. I think he's gotten better over the years. I think he's learned from his mistakes, and I think he's become a better filmmaker because of it. But look, M. Night is M. Night, and just because he's learned from his mistakes doesn't mean that he can't repeat them. Old is an interesting concept and an interesting idea that could be really cool. But you're taking that idea and you're stretching it into an hour and a half movie or maybe longer. Is it gonna work? Is this a movie that could have been a Twilight Zone episode or a Tales from the Crypt episode? And is it just being elongated to ridiculous amounts where it's just not gonna work? Because in order for this movie to work, the family has to be sympathetic. You have to be sympathizing with this family. You have to like them. You have to care about them and their situation and feel for them. You have to, because if you don't, then the rest of the movie fails, and that's going to be a challenge for him. Look, we can all agree that M. Night Shyamalan does creepy and terror pretty well. It's sort of getting that sort of flavor of you caring for them, and for him to get the horror aspect of it right. Like, is this going to be one of those movies where it's like, oh, you think this is going on and then they're going to twist it? Or is this going to be just your average horror film where you know what it is going in and that's what it is? Because sometimes when M. Night does twists, it doesn't always turn out so well. I don't know. I'm of two minds of this. Well, more like I'm two minds of M. Night. I think this movie could work, but there's a lot of factors that could go against it. But for the time being, I am willing to give this one a chance. I am curious on you guys, if you guys are willing to give it a chance, or do you see where this could potentially really fail? Definitely let me know. But in the meantime, God, let's hope we see some good physical media. Let's hope. Let's go into the second Walmart and see what they have to offer. Well, back in at the second Walmart, guys, and as I'm looking through the media here, I'm noticing they did put out quite a lot of new releases this week. Quite a bit of them. Not too much indie stuff, however, as I was searching, I found a little bit of indie goodness still worth searching for, and watching, and definitely showing off to you guys. Not every week is going to be very plentiful. Some weeks are going to be lesser than others. But if I can still find some media worth checking out, then it is definitely still worth it, guys. And this batch, The weird, the bizarre. Scott Baio? Oh yeah, guys, I cannot wait to show you. Seth, let's show off that physical media goodness, buddy. Yes, sir! I will do you proud and show off the physical media. Yes, indeed I will, guys. And not much to show off at the second Walmart, but still interesting regardless, man. And, you know, it's kind of interesting because I look at, as I told you guys earlier, the digital landscape is getting more love. And that, you know, physical media should raise the white flag. But I look at a lot of movies out there, ones that are in the collection, and even ones that are at the second Walmart, that there's a lot of these indie films, right? Yes, they're on digital to a small footprint, to a small extent, but what about after that happens, right? After they sort of come out and they're the new release, right? What happens then? If they're not making any money for these digital platforms, then there's really no place for them at the end of the day. And they just get forgotten, or they just end up basically just going to this really terrible, god-awful site where God knows what happens to some of these movies, man, going forward. And for me, I'm not gonna lie, I can't say I love all of the indie movies that come to Walmart all the time. I'm not gonna lie, most of them to me are shit. But that being said, guys, they do deserve to be shown off. They do deserve to be given a chance. And that's what physical media does well. Physical media is able to still give the little guy a chance. Where with digital, I feel like if it's on Netflix or if it's on some of these other streaming sites, if it's not like high up in the algorithm, if it's not being viewed by a lot of people, then it goes very, very, very far down the rabbit hole. I've watched enough Netflix in my time. I've searched a lot of corners of Netflix, and you can't believe some of the stuff I find. Some of the really cool and interesting movies that I would have never known about had I not searched, because they're not, you know, the popular movies. They're not the ones that are getting the most traction. And I kind of feel like a lot of these movies, these indie movies, or these, old school, unknown gems, they're just going to get buried on these sites. And that's why physical media is incredibly important to me, because even though I may not like the movies, I still feel that they have a place within physical media for somebody's enjoyment. And as far as they're able to still enjoy it, as somebody is going to enjoy these movies, and as far as I'm concerned, they're still worth showing off, and they're still worth putting on physical media. And physical media is still very important, not only for the big blockbusters, but for the little guys that sometimes don't get a voice on digital, but can on physical. But that's just my honest opinion on that, guys. But good, bad, ugly, it's Walmart weirdness. Isn't it all three? And with this stat, guys, I think we're in for quite the adventure. The weird, the oddball, the horrific. Let's dive into this stat, guys, and let's start off with the right one, which kind of looks like, almost like a nice little romantic comedy from the cover. The tagline, how do you choose when he's the same guy? Wait, what? Wait a minute, what's going on here? She has to choose between the same guy? Oh, what is this? Oh boy. Love's a dream, reality is overrated. Well, you got that one right. In this heartfelt and hilarious rom-com, Sarah, A novelist struggling with writer's block needs inspiration and finds it when she serendipitously meets Godfrey, a down on his luck oddball who constantly changes personas and alter egos in order to cope with his past and avoid reality. Whoa, wait. He's got like multiple personality disorder? Weird alter egos? He can't figure out who he is. Isn't that what a therapist is for? Gee, that's what I thought. Okay. This guy's got a lot of problems. Wait a minute. She's using him as a muse? Who's more messed up? The guy with the alter ego? Or the chick that's using the guy with the alter ego as her muse and inspiration? Maybe both. Okay. Just as Gottfried starts opening up to Sarah, he discovers that she's been using him as an inspiration for her next novel, and he vanishes from her life. Did Sarah just lose the man of her dreams, or will she be able to find him and make things right? Oh, I can't wait to see how this one turns out. Which personality does she choose? Oh, it's like almost the dating game for weirdos. Oh no. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Oh, this movie is all kinds of odd. Man. I mean, he's got problems with alter ego. She's got problems with she needs inspiration from a guy who has multiple alter egos. She can't find like inspiration on YouTube, or like maybe she needs a therapist. Somebody does in this fucker. Good God, man. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Not completely, but there's a interesting movie from 1999 called The Muse. It's with Albert Brooks and Sharon Stone, and Jeff Bridges is in it, among some other people. It's kind of similar in the idea that Albert Brooks needs this muse, and he hears about Sharon Stone and she's inspiring a lot of people, and so he hires her, and she's like a little too much to handle. She's this really crazy wild chick, and it's sort of the romantic comedy aspect of it, right? But nobody in that movie, by the way, has multiple alter egos. Nobody. Okay, I don't know about this one, man. I mean, it's supposed to come off as sort of this romance movie where she finds the man of her dreams. Well, hopefully the right personality of her dreams. Because thank God she's not like dating the guy from Split, because oh my God, would she be in so much trouble? God, hopefully this guy is sane in some ways, right? I mean, seriously. Oh my God, she's using this guy as a muse. It would kind of be like if somebody was using me as a muse. Doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. I mean, I could give you some good tips on movies, but not much else. And this guy could give her some good tips on love advice. But then again, which personality? Oh boy. Guys, this one is all kinds of weird. And you know what? I don't know if I'm going to need multiple personalities just to watch this goddamn thing. Hopefully not. Because I've only got one personality. It's already weird as it is. I don't know if I need it messed up by this movie. And the next title... Oh, and what are we in for with this one? Rage of the Mummy. Vengeance is reborn. Oh, and look at that cover, man, with the red glowing eye, the screaming skull. Looks like a badass mummy. But something tells me I am so wrong. Oh, let's dive into this. Oh my God, look at that fucker. Look at that mummified, cheesy fucker. Oh Lord, look at the red glowing eyes. And look at the teeth. Oh my God, he has perfect teeth. What the hell? I mean, he must have went to the dentist after he ended up escaping the tomb, right? I mean, it's a good thing to know that, your dental insurance hasn't expired yet. I mean, that helps, right? I mean, if you're going after people, you definitely need your pearly whites. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Defy the curse. Die first. Well, he's got to fix his teeth first, and then you'll die. He does have a good smile, though. Wait a minute, is that him smiling, or is he mean mugging? I don't know. I'm so confused. Oh Lord. A group of occultists steal 13 sacred relics from the tomb of Prince Horus Khan in order to create their own supernatural powers. Now, the 3,000-year-old mummy prince must hunt down the stolen relics while bringing deadly vengeance upon the grave robbers. Fuck my life. This looks so terrible. This looks beyond terrible. Look at that mummy, man. That is like bargain basement mummy, man. You could get a better looking mummy at the fucking Halloween shop during October. Like, god damn, man. And the cover makes the mummy look so cool. Oh, it makes the mummy look so cool. And then you just turn the back cover. Oh, that so doesn't justify the cover. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Well, actually, good thing, though. I mean, looks like he doesn't have any cavities, so, well, there's a plus side. Jeez. Oh man. I mean, I'm looking at this synopsis and I'm not gonna lie, man. Like it's like steals straight from that old school Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser, man. I mean, down to the sacred relics, and the mummy has to hunt down the stolen relics and, take vengeance on the grave robbers. I mean, it's stealing straight up plot points right from Brendan Fraser's The Mummy movie, man. But this movie clearly doesn't have any of the charm, probably none of the good CGI, and damn, that mummy, dude. Damn. Damn, dude. I mean, this mummy is not even getting close to Arnold Vosloo's mummy in those Brendan Fraser films. Not the Boris Karloff version. Not the mummy from the Monster Squad. Shit, I'll take the mummy from that shitty Tom Cruise movie, man. Over this. Damn. God. That is so trashy, man. That is so bad. Oh, dude. I don't even know if I'd say this movie's fun because, I mean, look at that. I mean, dude. I mean, at least it's got dental insurance, and God bless the mummy for the dental insurance, but where's the insurance for my fucking eyeballs if I were to watch this shit? Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so cheap. Woo! My God. However, I am kind of curious though. What dentist did the mummy go to? Because that dentist did a hell of a job. Look at those. Look at those chompers. Ooh, he did a great job. Hmm. I wonder. I don't know whether I want to go to the same dentist or not. Oh Lord, this one doesn't look good, guys. I'm just being real, man. Oh, there's even a director's commentary on this thing. God, I would love to know what the director was thinking. I really was. And did he get the mummy costume from Party City? Because, dude, I hope you got your money back, bro. I hope you did, man. Oh Lord, Rage of the Mummy, more like Rage of the Eyeballs, or Rage of the Mummy's Teeth. Because I gotta admit, out of anything that I'm impressed with, that mummy has some damn good dental insurance. And speaking of horrific, courting mom and dad. Aw, how cute. Maybe not. with Christy Swanson and Scott Baio. Sometimes you need to lay down the law. Oh, what are we in for with this? Scott Baio. Okay. Love is never overruled. All right. Well, whatever they say. Courting Mom and Dad is a heartwarming family comedy about three kids who find themselves at their wits' end when they discover that their parents are divorcing. The resourceful kids come together to hatch a plot. A last-ditch effort to save their family. With the help of a rather eccentric personal injury attorney, the children creatively stall the proceedings. It was long enough to give their parents time to rediscover the spark that once ignited their love. Wait a minute. Scott Baio and Christy Swanson were in love? Why would Christy Swanson do that to herself? Why? She could have anybody. She chose Scott Baio. I mean, this chick was Buffy. She was Buffy. Man, I would have her get with Pee Wee Herman before I would ever get with Scott Baio. Oh, Chachi. Why would she want Chachi? Oh, Lord. Oh, no. No, no, no. You know, what this movie kind of reminds me of, it has a kind of similar plot to it. There's a movie from 1996. We're going in the Wayback Machine for this one, guys. With Jamie Lee Curtis and Kevin Pollak, House Arrest. And actually, it stars a very young Jennifer Love Hewitt as well. And it's all about sort of the kids finding out that the parents are divorcing, and they lock them in the basement until they're able to sort of work out their problems and fall in love again. And it's sort of this sort of quirky comedy. I've always really quite enjoyed that movie. I actually think it's kind of fun. But I don't know if I would even compare it to Courting Mom and Dad. I mean, what are they gonna get? Well, they're stalling proceedings so that they can work out their issues at the courtroom? Really? Oh, okay. You know, I'm just waiting for Scott Baio to say I'm putting up a motion to dismiss or something, some bullshit fucking stupid crap line that they have, some sort of heartfelt cheesy shit, or Christy Swanson. Well, I overrule. Like, oh no, God, all the cheesy lines. Oh, I gotta admit, guys. I mean, I love a good family comedy as much as the next dude. Like I said, House Arrest is pretty fun. I like something like Freaky Friday, which is kind of cool. Jamie Lee's cool in it. Yeah, there's some cool wholesome family films out there. Oh, I don't know. Scott Baio, though, man, Scott Baio. I really only ever liked Scott Baio in like one movie, and that was Zapped. And that was like years and years ago, man. And that's the only thing I've ever really liked him in. Other than that, he's just been like a really bargain basement shitty version of Fonzie. and, and that's not a good thing, guys. That is so not a good thing. Oh man. If you like Christy Swanson, maybe. But you could always rewatch Buffy. I'm just saying. you know, or one of the many roles that she's done that's actually really good. Not Courting Mom and Dad. Maybe it's good. No. No, it's not. As far as this movie is concerned, I say we dismiss. Or actually, I'm sorry. We're not dismissing. We're prosecuting this motherfucker. I'm not dismissing this movie. We're prosecuting. And I'm going for first degree murder, motherfucker. And last, but certainly not least, Sputnik. Yes, from IFC Midnight and Scream Factory. Oh, so good, man. I'm loving that cover. There's the alien entity lurking in the shadows. The only survivor did not come back alone. Some alien entity goodness. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. And actually, it's been on my radar for a little bit now, guys. I had a coworker of mine come up to me about a month or so ago and ask me, have I seen the movie? And at that point, I hadn't. But he had. And he put a lot of praise on this movie. I mean, seriously, a ton of praise. Loved it. And I had seen a lot of people really love this movie quite a bit. And so it was definitely one that I was extremely interested to check out and watch. And truth be told, the movie did not disappoint. It's basically about these two Russian astronauts who something ended up happening to them in outer space. You don't quite know exactly what happened, and then they come down back to Earth, are in Russia again, being debriefed, and of course in quarantine. But you realize that one of the astronauts, something's incredibly wrong. You don't really know at first until you find out that there's literally this alien entity that is attached now to the astronaut, and it's feeding off of him, and it's now literally attached, and it's basically this one woman's journey of trying to figure out what exactly is this alien creature, what does it want, can they really break the bond between the alien and the human, or is it too late? And I thought the movie was all kinds of brilliant. I really did, man. I mean, when I first heard about the movie, I almost thought it was going to be like a John Carpenter's The Thing or something like that, right? Because some weird alien entity that is hopping from body to body and changing forms. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. And I'm kind of glad that it wasn't, because it was something a little bit different, something that I think was a little more, I think, interesting than just doing a straight up like Carpenter ripoff. I thought that was the better approach to go with this movie. I love the actors in here. I love the acting. And mind you, this movie is all subtitled. It's all subtitles, man. Nobody speaks a lick of English in this movie. And I know that's going to upset some people, but I gotta admit, for me, I don't mind subtitles in a movie as long as I'm really enjoying the film, as long as I'm enjoying the journey. Subtitles is not a big issue to me whatsoever. But I just was really engaged with the movie and engaged with the horror and especially with the alien entity itself. I thought the alien entity was brilliantly well done, man. It almost, when it comes out of him, almost looks like almost almost like a little tiny baby alien, right? It looks like harmless to you until you get up close to it, and then it straight up literally takes your head and literally splatters it into little blood packets of goo. Literally does, man. And it just kills people like crazy. And what you realize is that it actually is feeding off of people's fear. And eventually, like, it's slowly spending more and more time outside of the host's body, and that it's starting to maybe survive more, and that his survival is based on killing, and how it controls the host, and does the host know what's going on? Is the host participating in this? Does he get off on it? Like, there's so many really unique questions that are raised in this. And the idea that you don't know who to trust at the same time, because this woman who is very honestly trying to help this guy, like, she's stuck between two different factions. This scientist who is looking to get a Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts in this alien entity, that he has his selfish reasons, but then she's also working with this general who wants to use the alien as Russia's personal weapon. And so it's the whole idea of mistrust and the idea that no matter what side you go on, it's automatically the wrong side. So you have to work against them in order to help this person out. And it's just a fascinating tale of mistrust, of deceit, of the idea that the killer is literally inside you and that you could be helping the killer out unconsciously. Like there's some really just great ideas behind this movie and they all work. They really do, man. And I thought again the alien entity is really well done. I thought the CGI was fantastic. I loved the design of just unassuming, tiny looking harmless creature, but so terrifying and so like just like ready to kill at a moment's notice. And just the terror behind that and the horror is so brilliantly well done, man. I'm so glad that this wasn't like a Carpenter ripoff or other types of movies that are ripoff like that. I mean, I've seen movies that have this sort of idea behind it. There was a movie with Johnny Depp that came out a long time ago with Charlize Theron called, I believe it was called The Astronaut's Wife, if I'm not mistaken. And it was the idea of him going into outer space and coming back with this entity inside him, and it never really quite worked. Where a movie like that kind of failed, it was trying to go very big, bombastic sci-fi. This ends up being a little more smaller in scale, and I think it works a lot more. It's more of a character study, and it's more of a idea of mistrust and deception, and I think it works really well for that. I think the one movie that I would almost like maybe compare it to a little bit maybe would be Species 2. The idea that there is this alien being inside you and the idea that it has to kill to survive, or I should say in Species 2 it needs to fuck to survive, but that's a whole nother discussion, man. But yeah, this movie has elements from other films, but I think it takes it and spins it into a very unique and original tale that I really truly enjoyed, man. I love these sort of alien entities coming down to earth stories because you can do some really unique and fascinating things about, society and how we are and how we would treat the alien, and the fact that we're no better than the alien itself, that we're using them for evil purposes as well. But I just like the idea that this alien, you don't know the alien's purpose. You don't know if the alien's good or bad, or if this is just the alien's nature and that's how it survives. And that's just what they have to do. I always find sci fi really fascinating. I should say good sci fi, because there's a lot of sci fi out there that is really cheap and not very well done and doesn't really make you think. And then there's sci-fi like Sputnik that really sort of makes you really think and makes you really question us as human beings and who we are, and the idea that there's evil either living inside us literally or figuratively, but we all have evil in one form or another. And Sputnik really plays on that in a really great way. And also, it takes place in the 80s. And, I'm a sucker for the 80s, so what the hell, man. But honestly, this is an immensely great movie. Really atmospheric, really creepy. The kills are awesome here. The alien entity, honestly, was extremely well done, very effective. There's not much bad things to say about Sputnik other than the subtitles, which I know turn some people off, but if you can get past the subtitles, I guarantee you this is a rock solid movie that is one of the best sort of alien sci-fi movies to come out in a long while. It truly is the genuine article, and I can't say I love everything from IFC, but this one was a real winner, man. And honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed this flick, man. It is really true. The most moving horror accepts the tragic inevitability of the premise it has set up. This is one of those movies, and I completely agree. It's tragic, and it's horrific, and it really goes to the heart of many forms of evil that are out there in the world. And are we replacing just one with another? Very fascinating stuff, man. And I truly love Sputnik, man. I thought it was a truly great, genuine horror sci-fi tale worth diving into. Truly, man. It was really awesome, dude. Really love that one quite a bit. Can't say you'd probably enjoy all of these, though. Scott Baio, Dental Insurance Mummy, multiple personalities. Oh, there's quite a bit to chew on with this one, guys. I'm very curious as to what you guys think, but hey, it's Walmart indie weirdness. What else you gonna expect? Multiple alter egos. Mummy Dental Insurance. Scott Baio. Ah, and creepy alien symbiotes. Hey, Walmart indie weirdness. You can never say it's not unique, because it definitely is. That's for damn sure. Goodness gracious, man. I love checking out Walmart indie goodness because, boy, you never know what you're going to find. And this week definitely proves it. Oh boy, man. Hope you guys found some interest in any of those titles. Hey, if it's on physical, it's worth at least checking out because, hey, look, at the end of the day, we can trust in physical, not always trust in digital. You may not like the movie, but you have to appreciate the fact that if it's on physical, then at least it's worth giving a chance to in one way or another. And I always feel like I want to show you guys as much physical media as I humanly possibly can, because for me, it's about supporting the format and giving you guys as much choices and as much interesting movies as I possibly can. And I'm not saying that all these movies are gems, I'm not saying all these movies are winners, and I'm not even saying all these movies are losers. I'm saying that every movie deserves a chance, one way or another. And through physical, it's able to get that chance. It's able to be in these stores physically and be able to be there for somebody to actually pick up and hold and actually look at the back cover and actually have an item you can touch. There's something still about that to me can never be replaced by digital. Physical still has a tangible, real thing that you can hold and appreciate. Whether you like the movie or not, whether, I find the movie interesting or I hate on it, to have it there in your hand and being able to actually appreciate it in some form is still incredibly powerful for me. So, it doesn't matter if it's a weird title, if it's a terrible piece of shit title, whether it's a really great movie, as long as it's on physical, it's still worth it. Because it's a format that you can honestly, truly appreciate, but also have movies on that format that you can give a chance to. And you can give it to the masses still if you're able to put it in these stores. And maybe somebody out there who maybe wasn't looking for it might enjoy a Scott Baio family comedy, might enjoy a weird mummy that has great dental insurance. It's possible, guys. And so, to me, that's why physical is still awesome. because it's these wonderful moments, it's these great little movies that you can hold in your hand and you can cherish, and there's something about that that just can't be beat. So I just love checking out Walmart indie goodness, any physical goodness, because it just means that there's more out there in the marketplace for people to enjoy, and that is never a bad thing. So hope you guys enjoyed some weird Walmart goodness. But don't we all? I'd like to think so. And definitely stay tuned, guys, because the fourth location will definitely have some more physical media worth checking out. So how about we head to the next location and continue on the journey of more physical media goodness. All right, we are at our fourth and final location, and if I had to pick a place to end a good, well, decent day of physical media, would clearly be the Beast. Yes, indeed, we are at the Beast. Best Buy, baby. And I cannot wait to check out what the Beast has in store. I mean, it has been a moderately decent day for physical media. I mean, in the first place, Zippo Zilch. Target, pretty decent. And some indie titles worth checking out. Not half bad. But where will the Beast stand? Some possible exclusives, most of the new releases, maybe a surprise or two. It's possible. It's the Beast. You never know. We could either end on a high note or wah wah. Hey, you never know, guys, until you go in. So let's head in, check out what the Beast has in store for us this week. All right, we are in at Best Buy, and already I'm seeing new releases. Indeed, man. The first Blu-ray DVD digital of Greenland for $22.99. Disaster goodness, baby. God, and there's been so many disaster movies, hasn't there? I mean, ones that are kind of similar to this, I would say The Day After Tomorrow is similar to a certain extent. Geostorm, which coincidentally also has Gerard Butler in it. But come on. The two ones we're really thinking about are Deep Impact and Armageddon. Yes, we are, man, because, again, they're asteroids hitting Earth, going to literally destroy everything in its path and our way of life in the process. It definitely does mirror Greenland. I would say actually more Deep Impact than Armageddon. I mean, we certainly don't have Bruce Willis riding a fucking meteor and drilling a hole inside of it. But God, seeing Gerard Butler go on top of a meteor and try to drill a hole into it. No, I'm not. I don't want to give the studios any ammunition. No. Come on. It's only Bruce Willis, baby. Come on. It's not Gerard Butler. Only Bruce gets to do that shit. No, but it definitely has that feel of Deep Impact. And I gotta admit, man, like, look, if I were to say the better movie between Armageddon and Deep Impact, and look, I love Armageddon. I think Armageddon is amazing. It's a great Michael Bay action movie. It's one of his best, dare I say. But I gotta go with Deep Impact, dude. I mean, it was so awesome at the time that it came out, and such a very unique and fascinating movie. The acting was phenomenal. The special effects were great. And you had friggin' Morgan Freeman as the president. I mean, come on. How better can that really be? Well, unless he was God, and then that would be even better. But, whatever, man. But seriously, it was a great dramatic movie about people trying to survive and what the world would turn into. And I really feel like Greenland really takes that and amps it up, especially in the world we live in today. You know, the more of the digital media and more of the mistrust in the world, and Greenland really takes that and really goes with it and does a great job with it, man, of just how the world would just be torn apart. And I like the politics of it, and I like the idea of who you can really trust when things really go just batshit out of control. And again, I think Gerard Butler really anchors this thing really well. He's a good guy when it comes to action. Overall, he really is. He knows about action. He knows how to play it well. He does a good job here. Marina Baccarin, great job as well. The special effects work really, really solid as well. I mean, like I said, as far as an action disaster meteor movie, yeah, go with Armageddon, because that's the movie that's going to be the better one out of the two. But if you're looking for something that has a similar flavor to Deep Impact, which is much more dramatic and less sort of action showy, then go with Greenland. Because Greenland, I think, really has a good story to tell, with the occasional, like, really great sequence of, like, meteors coming down and, like, killing people, which, that can be fun, too. Indeed it can, man. Deleted scenes, humanity featurette, and filmmaker commentary, not bad. This one is definitely worth it. I can't say there is a lot of great disaster movies, because there's a shitload of disaster movies. Great disaster meteor movies? Not a lot. Greenland is actually in a very exclusive club, but honestly, it's a pretty damn good exclusive club, and dare I say, Greenland very much delivers. And now on to the Killer Switch Edition, Blu-ray DVD digital of Freaky for $22.99. Very nice. Such a bloody good time this was, man. And you know what? Horror comedies. Let me tell you something. Let me be real with you guys. There is a lot of horror comedies that have come out within the past 25 years. There's been a lot of them, man. There's actually been a lot more. Back in the day, horror comedies were very, very rare, man. You would occasionally get one every now and again, but they didn't really play as well. Now I think people really like the combination. I mean, you had great ones back in the day. You've had ones like Evil Dead 2, which is amazing. You have some really great ones. Of course, Shaun of the Dead really comes to mind. I would also say a movie like The Babysitter, which is honestly pretty damn good, man. The Babysitter is fantastic, dude. Love that flick. And I kind of feel like taking the slasher element and mixing it in with the comedic element, if it's done well, can be proven to be really effective. And I think Freaky really does that, man. And I love sort of the homages to the other slasher films and how it really sort of takes those great killers and really spins it into something really unique with this film. And I gotta give a lot of credit, by the way, to Christopher Landon, who directed this movie, because I really like him as a director, man. He did Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, which are really great horror comedies as well, but they're PG-13. This is R. And what I really love about this movie is that he's clearly a lover of horror movies. You can see his love for horror movies shine through with a movie like this, man. You really do. He really loves the genre, really appreciates it, and has been influenced by it in a big bad way. But I appreciate him because those Happy Death Day movies were PG-13. And it's not easy to go from PG-13 land to R land and still make it effective. You have more blood, you have more of the outright kills that you actually get to see. And by the way, the kills here are really cool, man. They're brutal, and they remind me of some really great stuff that you've seen from, like, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees. I mean, straight up homages that are really cool. I remember John and I watching this movie, and that opening sequence, we were just like, oh shit, oh my god, man, that dude's head just split like a fucking melon. Like, we were loving it, loving every kill, and just loving the brutality of it. And I honestly think, and my true opinion here is, I think it's much harder to go from an R-rated horror film to a PG-13 horror film. I think it's a little easier going from PG-13 to R. I think especially when you're a filmmaker like Christopher Landon, who is able to be very effective, and you can already tell with those Happy Death Day movies that he's somebody who already loves the genre. So, he was able to tone down the elements from those Happy Death Day movies to still make them really effective. So just, take those Happy Death Day movies and make them R-rated, and you really have Freaky, which is just a great wild ride, man. Now, I'm not saying you can't take a filmmaker who's done R and turn them to an effective PG-13 filmmaker. I think a few have done it. I think somebody like Tobe Hooper has done it before, rather effectively, dare I say, and a few others have, but few and far between. It's harder to go from an R-rated horror filmmaker down to a PG-13, but I think Christopher Landon really did PG-13 to R very, very effectively, and you could tell how much love and admiration he truly does have for the horror genre, and it honestly shows, man. It really does. To me, this movie hit all the right elements. It really honestly did, man. I mean, the kills were spectacular. I love the whole body swapping idea, man. I mean, it reminds me of Freaky Friday, or Like Father, Like Son, or you name it, man. Just with a really great horror, killer twist to it that I think was really effective and really well done. And I truly think that Christopher Landon is just a fun filmmaker who loves horror. Whether it's PG-13 or R, you can just tell that he's effective in conveying horror the right way, depending on what audience he's trying to suffice. It worked for me. And, when it comes to horror films nowadays, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm a little bit picky, because I love horror so much, and I love the genre, and I love so many horror movies, and so I look back at the past and be like, God, most movies are not like the past. But I look at Freaky, and it just reminds me of some really great horror stuff from back in the day, like Heathers, or, even newer stuff like The Babysitter. It's movies like this and that really show me that there can be really good horror still made today. It's just got to be creative, and it's got to have a sort of tongue-in-cheek sense to it, that it knows what it is, and it can still be brutal and cool, but yet have a certain charm to it. And Freaky, with all its girlish Vince Vaughn charm, definitely does the trick. Not bad, man. And you get a lot here. You get deleted scenes, a lot of featurettes, feature commentary, and more. Not bad. Great list of features, dude. God, Freaky was so good, so well done. And to me, it's a really good reminder that you can truly do a really great, effective love letter to horror. I truly do think so, man. I truly do. Very well done. And Greenland, not half bad. Well, that's all I'm seeing over here so far. But hey, 2 new releases, not half bad. Alright, pretty cool. Let's see what else they got. And we have a few things we're checking out. And the first thing, I cannot believe they have this, guys. Seriously. They have My Bloody Valentine, the Steelbook from Scream Factory. Look at that. This is awesome. Holy shit. Seriously, guys, I was not expecting this here at Best Buy this week. I mean, this is like a brand new Steelbook edition, and they got it here, man. That's awesome. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, and look at that cover. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. With the hearts and with the great, like, pickaxe and dragging some dude. Oh, look at that with the miner. Oh, that's so awesome. God, that is so cool. Damn, this is awesome, man. Wow. It's so great to see this here. Shit. I gotta tell you, man, this movie is all kinds of awesome. I mean, it truly, truly is. I mean, I have the regular Blu-ray edition that Scream Factory put out a while back, but this is a really cool looking steelbook, man. That's nice. And the movie, I gotta admit, the movie is one of the best slashers from the 80s. I mean, truly, it's one of the best holiday slashers as well, dare I say, man. I love taking Valentine's Day and twisting it into this bloody affair. It's so good, man. And I love the iconicness of the miner, of the suit, and how anybody could be in it. I love the story of this guy coming back into town and these killings starting up, and you don't know whether it's him or somebody else. I love the idea of going down into the mine, and it's dark and dank and dirty, and you gotta try to survive while a killer is hunting you down. I mean, there's a lot of really great imaginative kills here, and the unrated edition is amazing because you get much more blood and gore effects, and you get all that unrated, like, just gory goodness with him, like, pounding that pickaxe into someone's chest. So fantastic, man. And it's so weird because out of all like the slasher stuff from the 80s, you know, you see all this stuff from Freddy and Michael and Jason and a lot of these other characters from the 80s, and they all got sequels. My Bloody Valentine never got a sequel, even though I think they tried to do a sequel, but they never got off the ground. It's just one of those one-off slasher classics that really has stood the test of time. Yeah, it's a little bit dated, but I mean, I think it still holds up as one of the best within the subgenre. I mean, truly. And I also have to say a big shout out to the remake of My Bloody Valentine, which honestly, the remake is pretty damn good too. I mean, truly, the remake has some really great moments, some really great kills. I really like the story and the characters and sort of the comedic elements to it. I actually think it's one of the better horror remakes in the past, like, 20 odd years. I think it's actually really well done, man. And what's really great about this movie, right? It came out in 1981. And if you think about it at that point, you had the first Friday the 13th, you had Halloween, you had Psycho, Black Christmas, but I mean, the slasher genre was just really very young and very starting up. It was very much in its infancy. And I know we look back on My Bloody Valentine with all of the slasher knowledge that we know of, obviously, but put it into proper context. And My Bloody Valentine was one of the slasher movies that really brought the subgenre to the forefront and really was influential to a lot of other slashers going forward. It really is a genuine and original slasher flick that is one of the best ones of all time, truly. I would put it with the Black Christmas and Friday the 13th and the Halloweens, and I would. I don't think it's as iconic as those, but I think it should be. I think it really is such a phenomenal, great old school slasher flick. The Scream Factory edition is amazing, by the way. I mean, there's so much really great stuff. You get the theatrical version and the uncut, but I gotta tell you guys, go with the uncut, because the extra gore footage is awesome, man. And so many special features. It's just a phenomenal set by Scream Factory, and the steel looks amazing. Oh man, dude, if you're getting into the slasher genre, I mean, there's a whole history of slashers out there, but honestly, this one really is one that needs to be highlighted. And that goddamn miner, so fucking classic. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Wander Darkly for $14.99. I gotta admit, that is a nice cover there. Almost looks like a very like abstract painting almost, or something. Very, very unique and interesting, man. Now, I gotta give props to Sienna Miller. I have to, man. I mean, Diego Luna is in this and he does a great job as well, but Sienna Miller is very much front and center in this, and she is majorly doing the heavy lifting. And Sienna Miller, amazing job in this, man. And I remember when she was really starting out in film, I think she was like a model previously or something. And I remember her doing like Alfie and Layer Cake, G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, I think she was in as well. And I thought, okay, she's eye candy, but not a great actress exactly. And I think over the years, she's actually gotten better. Like, she was good in Live by Night, American Sniper, Foxcatcher. I would also say 21 Bridges, she was also really good in as well. She's gotten better as an actress and better at her craft. And I kind of feel like that's sort of people's goal, I think, eventually, is to, if they want to be an actor, they got to take this shit seriously. I've seen a lot of, models turn actors or singers turn actors who think it's really easy. And yeah, if you're popular at first or if you're really good looking, yeah, you'll get the roles, right? I mean, you'll get them, but you're really getting them off of your beauty and off of your name recognition. You're not really getting it off of your talent, so to speak. And I think what Sienna Miller has finally understood over the course of the last, 5-ish years or more, is that eventually, I hate to say it, but looks fade after a while. And, you're gonna have to achieve, a better status as an actor by actually working on your craft and actually making, good choices as an actress, and up your game and be good, because Diego Luna is good in this, and Diego Luna is no slouch, and you have to keep up with him. And Sienna Miller does a really great job. The same with 21 Bridges. Chadwick Boseman was no slouch. He was good, and you're either going to keep pace with him or you're going to fail miserably. And she did a really great job here. I'm actually really interested to see where Sienna Miller goes in her career. I'm not saying she's going to end up being like a Meryl Streep or some shit, but I could see her having a really nice niche of being a really solid actress, having the looks, yes, but also having the acting talent. And sometimes with some of these models or singers going into the acting realm, yeah, you don't always get that, guys. I'm just being real with you. You do get audio commentary, narrative therapy as well. Very nice. Like I said, this movie surprised me. Looking at the synopsis, it could have been a bore fest, a snooze fest. Oh, another typical, we're living our lives and our love, and we're going back and remembering the past, and okay, fine, we've seen them a million times. But doing it through the eyes of, flashing your life before your eyes in a lot of ways, was a unique journey that I thought was actually really fascinating. And, a movie that could have been a real bore turned out to be very fascinating. A very unique movie that, for the acting talent and for the story, turned out to be a real winner. It did. Not bad. I'm also seeing they have Zhang Zia for $16.99, the Blu-ray. And I gotta show this off, guys, because I don't know what the fuck this thing is, man. The Ultimate Warrior. Look at that. I love that, with that cover, man, with whatever fucking creepy demon behind him. Dude, that's awesome. How is this? Oh, it's kind of like an anime. Oh, okay. To earn his place amongst the gods, Celestial Army Commander vanquish a terrifying fox demon threatening... Oh, shit. Well, that looks interesting. I love showing these off. A lot of the anime, I don't know much about them, to be honest with you. I really don't know shit about them. But I always love showing them off because I know it's a huge genre. You guys love this stuff. And some I know kind of well because they're in popular culture, and others really just pass me by. And I know diddly squat. This is kind of the one that I know nothing about, but the cover really intrigues me. And from some of the animation, it looks kind of cool. If you guys know about this, definitely let me know. Looks pretty kick-ass. And some upgrade love with the 4K Blu-ray digital of Elysium for $22.99. Very nice. Elysium is getting the 4K upgrade love. Very nice. And watch 4K UHD movies in PS5. I'm seeing a lot more of these stickers, guys. I really honestly am. Are they trying to promote 4K through the PS5? I mean, it's not a bad idea. I'm just wondering how many people use their PS5s for 4Ks. Kind of curious on what that statistic would be. I mean, it's a good strategy though. So, I mean, you know, might as well try every strategy in the book to get people to buy physical media, right? Now, as far as Elysium is concerned, I'm not a big fan of this movie. It's not a terrible movie because I like the idea behind it, but it's kind of, at least to me, it's a step down from District 9, man. I mean, it's got a great idea about sort of going up to this space station and living the luxurious life, you know, the haves and have-nots, rich versus poor, and obviously somebody who's trying to get a ticket up there to save people down on Earth that are dying. Like, I like the concept, I like the ideas, and the sci-fi aspects are kind of cool. I just wasn't in love with Elysium as much as I wanted to be. There was a lot of, like, scumbag characters, a lot of people that I couldn't really root for, and I thought that the execution of the movie wasn't as effective as I wanted it to be. Not saying it's a bad sci-fi movie. I like how they really go for some of the sci-fi elements with the technology and the action, some of the cool sci-fi designs. I mean, there's things here that I do like, I should say, but I'm not a huge fan of it. And I mean, Matt Damon's not bad here. He's decent, all things considered. Jodie Foster, though, damn, man, Jodie Foster with that horrible accent that she did, that was really fucking god-awful, man, with her accent. However, I do really like Sharlto Copley in this role, playing this really great badass assassin going after Matt Damon. Like, that's really cool, man. I mean, in a total 180 from District 9. I will admit, though, that Neil Blomkamp, who directed this and also directed Chappie as well and District 9, he's a unique and interesting director. I like his style. I like how he goes for very unique and interesting sci-fi premises. And I give him a lot of credit for really trying, and the imagination and the creativity that he has. But, like, the only movie that I really loved of his was District 9. I really didn't care for Elysium, and I cared less about Chappie. It has to do with the characters. For some reason, I really related a lot to District 9 and what that character was going through, and how he really was hating on the aliens, and then while he was becoming them, literally became more understanding about what they were and what they were going through. Elysium just didn't really capture me, and Chappie just, with some of the annoying characters, man, and some of those scumbags, I couldn't get into that movie at all. You can have really the best sci-fi premise in the world and some cool visual effects and designs, but if the characters don't really intrigue me, and if I can't get behind anybody's story, then it's hard for me to really get into some of these sci-fi movies, and Elysium is one of them. It's a cool sci-fi action spectacle, but not much beyond that, unfortunately. But if you love it, I understand it. It is cool sci-fi regardless, man. And Matt Damon in sci-fi armor, you know, blasting people to hell, why not? Especially in 4K quality. And not bad special features either. Pretty cool, actually. Then they do have this 13 hours 4K digital steelbook for $22.9, and I want to show this off because it's actually kind of cool. I like the cover to that, man. And it's honestly a really cool little Michael Bay action flick, which I really do enjoy. And the reason why I really prop this film up to a certain degree is because of John Krasinski. This was actually the first movie where I actually took John Krasinski seriously as a potential action guy. Because before this movie, he was kind of just the goofy prankster Jim from The Office, and I never really thought of him as much else. He was doing sort of these romantic comedy movies. They were all right, but this was really the first one that really sort of like, whoa, he really can be this action guy. And now he's just doing all these other stuff, and I mean, really paving the way for perhaps more bigger things in the future, possibly. This one really opened my eyes. It's I don't think it's my favorite Michael Bay action movie by far. I would say sort of something like probably like The Rock or like Bad Boys is sort of my favorite. But 13 Hours, really effective, very well done, and probably looks really awesome in 4K. Oh, and wonders never cease, guys. Yes, we are seeing the Blu-ray edition, Arrow, I should say. Very nice, of Southland Tales for $19.99. Oh my god, I knew we were gonna see it eventually because I saw a tag here for Southland Tales last week, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get it eventually, and we so did, man. Oh my god, wow, it's so cool to see more Arrow editions come into like these places like Best Buy. It's so awesome, man. But goddamn Southland Tales, holy shit. This movie is a mess. It's a hot mess, man. But I gotta give it credit where credit's due. It's a fascinating mess. I mean, really, this movie is fascinating. It doesn't make a lick of sense. And I'm not gonna lie, but damn, is it all over the place. And it's a wild, crazy, bizarre mess, dude. I mean, you got The Rock here, you got Sean William Scott, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and a whole host of other actors. I mean, Justin Timberlake and Booger from Revenge of the Nerds and a lot of other people, man. Jesus Christ. And it's kind of interesting, this movie, right? Because this movie came out in 2006. A few years before that, The Rundown comes out with The Rock and Sean William Scott, right? And that made a boatload of money. It was very successful. So why not team up again? And also we're teaming up with Richard Kelly, the guy who did Donnie Darko, who got a lot of fame and notoriety for that movie. And so, okay, it's a very unique take. You know, we're big stars. This could be a moneymaker for us. So why not do it? And man, boy, is this a recipe for disaster. I mean, this movie, man, has so many things going on, so many different tales that are going on within the movie, and there's so many different thoughts and ideas running through the film, like, you know, stuff about post 9/11 and the war in Iraq and conservatism and liberalism and oh my god, just like so many ideas just thrown at the fucking screen, man. And I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen this film in probably over 10 years. It's been a while, but I remember just watching the movie and just like after the movie was over, like, what the fuck did I just watch? What is that? And I'm like, I could understand a little bit of the movie. I can't say I understood 90% of it, but okay, like, it was out there, man. Weird musical numbers and just sometimes the acting was like, sometimes it was over the top, other times it was way subdued, and it just, the tonal shifts are just all over the place, man. I mean, I gotta tell you, there is not many movies that were flat out disasters like Southland Tales. I mean, there is something, and it's true, there is something about Southland Tales that is just so fascinating that it just requires you to watch it, and not just watch it once, mind you. This needs to be like multiple watches. I gotta admit, I probably have to revisit this movie because, you know, I was like, 10 years younger, and maybe my tastes were different, and now that I'm a little bit older and, well, slightly more matured, maybe this movie might make a little bit more sense to me. But Jesus, man, this thing is just like a hodgepodge of ideas all like in a like a boiling pot, and it comes out with some kind of stew. I don't know if it's tasty. I don't know if it's even edible, but it's something. Oh my god, man. This is just really ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just nuts. I don't know, man. This is really kind of crazy. It truly is, dude. I mean, God bless this movie and God bless Richard Kelly. I mean, it's just kind of interesting to me because Richard Kelly is. I mean, Donnie Dark was an amazing film. It's bizarre, but it's amazing. And then he did this movie, and it's just, it's just, I think it just didn't make any sense, and people were just confused, and they just didn't know what to make of the movie. And then this movie failed. And then he really was like almost like blacklisted from Hollywood. And then he did that other movie, The Box, with Cameron Diaz, which is okay, but I gotta admit, like, this is the most fascinating disasters of all time. I mean, it truly is, dude. And Richard Kelly, like, give him credit because it's creative, it's imaginative, but do I know what's going on? No goddamn fucking way, man. But boy, is this movie something though. And give Arrow credit for putting out this release, because boy, what a wild movie this one is. Damn. I'm telling you, man. A lot of special features as well. Quite unique and interesting, but damn. What a crazy, ridiculous, wild ride this is, man. I can't say you're gonna understand the movie. I can't say you're gonna get it. I can't say that it's gonna make any sense to you, or you even know what the fuck is going on half the time. But it is enjoyable. I'll give it that much. And boy, you will be on a mind-bending ride. Wow, man. I do hope we get more Arrow at Best Buy. Southland Tales. Damn, dude. Nice. And actually, quite a lot of releases this week over at Best Buy. A big improvement over last week. Not bad, dude. Some really nice stuff worth checking out. I was loving this week. All right. Let's head out. Come on. Say it with me now. You know you want to. Best Buy delivered, baby. Yes. Yeah, baby. Best Buy delivered. Oh, indeed it did, guys. Indeed it did. Oh, I always love coming into Best Buy, man. I mean, last week, it was a little stingy. Didn't do its job so well, but this week was a comeback, man. Some Steelbook love, all the new releases, some unique surprises. It's back, baby. Yes, indeed. Best Buy was a good way to end the week, dare I say, man. It's always worthy coming into the beast. Most of the time, it delivers. And this week, definitely did, guys. Not half bad. Arrow love, Scream Factory love, new release love, 4K love. I'm loving the love, guys. And hope you guys do too. Alright, not half bad for physical media at the Beast. How about we head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And you know what? It ended up not being half bad after all this week. It really didn't. And I was in some way maybe prepared for a lackluster week, just because going into Walmart and not seeing anything really felt like, oof, I don't know what we're in for this week, but it's going to be rough. But, Target really delivered. Some interesting titles at the second Walmart. Best Buy definitely delivered. And so it ended up being a little bit more plentiful than I was even hoping for. And that's never a bad thing, man. I mean, this week is not the most, plentiful physical media week of all time, but there's still some really solid big name releases, some interesting indie titles, and at the end of the day, there's pretty much something for everybody as far as movie lovers are concerned. So there is stuff worth checking out this week and diving into. Hopefully you guys have, or purchased something really cool. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got two packages in the mail. The first ended up being a package from Diabolic DVD. Yes, they love me there, guys. And this is actually two Arrow video titles, okay? One is actually some old school Christopher Walken love, and the other is a mix of Cronenberg and Spader. And let me tell you something, man. I've never had either of these movies in the collection, but I've seen both of them, and I really appreciate these two movies. They're not the most well-known movies of all time, especially when it comes to like those certain actors. Like there's other ones that are more recognizable. People, gravitate to those movies more. But these two titles are very unique. And I love what Arrow does, because Arrow really takes these forgotten gems or movies that maybe have been lost through time for whatever reason, and they really give them a spotlight and really give them a chance for fans to really remember them and reignite their love, or for movie lovers who haven't really experienced them to re-experience them through a really great edition that Arrow really puts their heart and soul into. So these two editions, I'm absolutely dying to check them out and put them in the collection. So so good. Definitely cannot wait to dive into those two. And I also ended up getting another package. This package right here, guys. This I am super excited about. This is actually a horror documentary that I pre-ordered long time back, guys. And I pulled the trigger on this because the first documentary that they did, I was so surprised by. I loved it so much. I thought it was really, really cool. And when they announced they were doing technically a sequel, another style 80s horror documentary, I was on board immediately, man. I loved what they did the first time around. I can't wait to see what they do the second time around. And I just love documentaries on certain genres or the making of a certain film. Like, for me, I love that minutia of the actors talking about the process and diving into certain like decades and eras and movie genres that I love, and it's just something that I've always sort of gravitated to, and a great documentary can really highlight a genre or a decade in the best possible way, and the first one did that in spades, and I can't wait to see where the second one goes. Oh, this I've been waiting for a while, guys, so I am definitely super excited about this, and of course super excited about some Arrow video love. So very, very nice, guys. But you will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray Pickles video, which will drop sometime down the line. It will show off all the titles that I got for the month of February. And we're getting some retro titles, we're getting some documentaries, limited collector's editions, out of print love, and much, much more. I always get some unique stuff, guys, and this month is definitely no exception, so definitely stay tuned to that. Now, before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about Christopher Plummer. Now, Christopher Plummer passed away not too long back. Unfortunately he passed away, and I know a lot of people are really sad about that, and I am too. What an amazing actor. And I don't know if I'm necessarily sad about his death, more as I am just feeling a lot of love for the man and appreciation for him, for what he's done. Because he's an actor that, looking back at his IMDb, I feel a deeper appreciation for him now, because it never mattered whether the role was big or very small. The man always really gave it his all with every single performance that he did. He was a truly master thespian who believed in his craft and always gave it 110% no matter what he did, man. And there was some really unique movies that I forgot about. Like, he was in Return of the Pink Panther, he was in Dreamscape, Malcolm X, he was in American Tail, like that 50 Mouse story. He did a voice there. He was in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. He played one of the main Klingon villains that was against Kirk, and did such a great job in that, man. Of course, he was in Knives Out and Beginners, and he was. I had even forgotten. I was looking at his IMDb. He was in Dracula 2000. He played Van Helsing in Dracula 2000. I had totally forgotten about that, man. And he was also, did a voice in the animated movie Rockadoodle, and God, so much stuff, dude. God, and it's so interesting because I wouldn't really consider Christopher Plummer a genre actor, because he's somebody who took whatever role was really fascinating to him. It didn't matter whether it was horror or sci-fi or dramas or a love story or doing a play on stage or just being on the silver screen. He really was such a very hardworking, humble actor that really appreciated the work and really tried to elevate everything he did. And I appreciate that about him. And looking back on his career, I just feel like he is one of those actors that really is just one of those really great, wonderful actors that you just appreciate everything they do, because they never thought that there was a role that was too small, or there was never a role that felt too cheesy or chintzy. Whether it was like Vampire in Venice or something. I mean, just this cheesy movie role. He always was somebody who really believed in his craft, and I just really am gonna miss him as an actor, man. But in my heart of hearts, I know that he's in heaven, having a ball with all his wonderful other thespians that he's loved over the years and admired. And I know for me, so many of those roles I'm gonna cherish. Like, I have them in the collection. They're on TV all the time, and I'm just gonna look at him as a performer, and I'm just gonna smile knowing how much wonderful work that he has left us. Over 217, if I believe correctly, over 200 roles that he did over the course of his career. Those are gems that I'm not going to forget. I know that you guys are not going to forget. And as long as we keep them in our heads and our hearts, Christopher Plummer is never going to be forgotten, guys. He's done too much really great stuff. He's loved by so many actors who really love what he did and really inspire them. He's going to have fans all over the world, whether it's fans of horror or sci-fi or drama. He's somebody who gave so much entertainment for so many people, and to me, none of that will ever be forgotten. So rest in peace, Christopher Plummer. You've had an amazing, wonderful life full of amazing creativity and imagination, and at the end of the day, up there in heaven, you can hold your head up high knowing that, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You've already done it. And it's movie lovers like myself and thousands and, who I'm talking about, millions who have been touched by your work in one way or another, and we will never forget you, not by a long shot. Rest in peace. You deserve it, sir. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to just quickly say a few words about something that I heard about not too long back. And apparently, Apple is working on 8K. They're working on an 8K VR headset. Now, it's really only in the early stages of their 8K experimentations at this point, but they are heading down that road. And I know that there's a lot of talk about 8K TVs and 8K discs eventually for movies. And I am of two minds on 8K at this point. On one hand, it's kind of cool to explore 8K and explore the possibilities of it. On the other hand, do we really need 8K? This is a big debate going forward, and honestly, it's a very early debate that will obviously be reignited the more that it really comes more into the mainstream and to the consumers. At the end of the day, guys, is 8K really worth it to dive into for movie fans out there? That's really the big discussion. Because look, at, we are at a crossroads as physical media lovers in a lot of ways, right? Because when you look at the old school boom of VHS, right, there was so much potential and opportunity, and there was so much that came from the VHS era. Then you end up going to DVD, and DVD opened up so many new avenues for physical media lovers, and it really opened a lot of doors, and the flood of DVDs that are still being influenced on the market to this day astounds me. And I think I take DVD and VHS and I almost put them on the same level of popularism, right? Because they were both very popular, people loved them, and still love them to this day. Then you get to Blu-ray. And Blu-ray, I think, was never as popular as DVD, obviously, but I feel like it had the potential to be. I don't know whether it didn't quite get the push that maybe it needed to. Maybe consumers didn't really take to it. Maybe the players cost too much for a really long period of time, and people just never really wanted to switch from DVDs. There's a lot of people who have switched to Blu-rays, myself included, and many, many, many others. But Blu-ray never took as big of a hold away from DVD as maybe a lot of people were expecting. And then shortly after that, we got 4K. And yeah, I buy 4K, but I'm not really as invested in 4K as I know some people are. And 4K, from all reports that I've seen over the past few years, hasn't really taken a hold on the marketplace like DVD did or even Blu-ray have. And unfortunately, I think we pushed 4K into the mainstream maybe a little bit too fast. Maybe we didn't really do it the best way we possibly could. And I think there was a lot of stuff lost in translation with 4K. And the consumers never really sparked to it the way that many people were hoping it would. And also, look, 4K is still very early in its infancy as far as a format is concerned. I mean, if you think about Blu-ray, it's still very early in its format years as well, but it's more in, I would dare say, like its teenage years of format, right? Whereas 4K is definitely in its infancy in a lot of ways and still growing. To put another format out there doesn't really seem to be the right course of action here. I think we're rushing in a lot of ways. It's just a lot of rushing at this point, guys, because unfortunately the problem is technology is moving very fast. And we are either going to accept that or we're going to just let it pass us by in the format wars. So what do? Do we embrace 8K? And do we say 8K, I guess, is going to be the next big physical media jump and we have to go get on board of that because that's the next push? Or do we sort of stand our guard and say, hold on a second, 8K doesn't seem to be the right way to go. Consumers are still getting used to 4K. Hell, they're still getting used to Blu-ray. And putting in another format on top of those doesn't seem to be the right course of action. At the same time, those discs, those 8K discs are going to be a hell of a lot of money. The players are going to be a hell of a lot of money. And I just don't feel like consumers really want to have to get an 8K player, have to get another 8K TV, and they're just going to have to dive into more expensive media to buy in order to yet again get used to another format. It just doesn't really seem like it seems right to do at this point. I mean, people are pushing for it, and it's going to happen whether I like it or not, or you like it. It doesn't really matter. But there's still a lot of kinks to be done with 4K. You know, 4K is not perfect, and there's certain movies that don't really translate that well to 4K. We're really going to take those and move them into 8K territory? And what about a lot of these older films that, by the way, some of them haven't even made the jump from VHS or even DVD at this point, and some just made the jump to Blu-ray? We're really going to try to maybe get these titles on 8K? I don't know if these older titles are going to look that good in 8K, guys. I don't think the quality is really going to honestly be there. And not only that, but if you guys have noticed, every single format moving forward, we've lost a lot of movies in the process. VHS had so much media that was distributed through that format. Then VHS to DVD, a lot of stuff got ported over. However, there was a good chunk of movies that never got ported over to DVD. Then DVD to Blu-ray, that jump was even less. There was a lot of titles that never was able to jump from DVD to Blu-ray. A lot of it got lost. Now, what we're finding Blu-ray to 4K is the same thing is happening. There's a lot of titles out there that will never see the light of day on 4K. They just won't, guys. I mean, it's just the honest to God truth. It just won't happen. Studios just are not going to invest in a lot of these titles to move over to 4K, so those titles are getting lost. And what do you think is going to happen from 4K to 8K? Do you think that every title on 4K is going to be transferred over to 8K? I don't think so. And I don't think a lot of stuff from Blu-ray is going to be ported immediately over to 8K either. I just feel like we're not thinking about the consequences. All we're really doing is pushing this media out there and hoping to God that it rescues the format. And I think, unfortunately, people have looked at physical media as we just got to push the next thing out there for it to survive. But that was never the case. VHS lasted a long time because it was a format people got used to, people trusted, and it was this new thing that really brought the masses in. If you look at something like DVD, it was revolutionary at that point, with the special features and the menus, and it blew everybody away. And I think with Blu-ray, people really were shocked about the picture quality and how a massive improvement it was. And continuing with the special features and the menus and the great limited editions, and people have really taken advantage of Blu-ray and have really seen where you can really benefit on the Blu-ray side of things. But then to really jump so far ahead with 4K so early, that necessarily hasn't saved the physical media format. It might have even hurt it by going too fast too soon. And now we're jumping the gun even more with 8K. I just don't know whether this seems to be the best course of options at this point. I'm not saying 8K is going to hit the consumers anytime soon within the next year or two, but it's something that's on the horizon. And as physical media lovers, are we really going to embrace another format this soon? Or are we going to push back on it? I'm very curious what you guys think. I mean, I'm always up for more formats, more things to really love as far as, you know, keeping the physical media alive. But I don't know if 8K is really a place where we really want to stake our money on at this point. I just don't see that 8K is going to save physical media. Do you? I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think about that. I'm dying to know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I've done, movie hunting videos, movie reviews with my friends, movie hunting, live streams, and so much more Blu-ray pickups videos, you name it. If you love movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I am so thankful for you guys, the great comments and the feedback. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate everything you do for me and the channel and the support. You give the love to me, and I hope I give the love right back to you, so thank you so much. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright guys, another good week and more to come, so definitely stay tuned, and I will see you next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD Out and About video. Take care everybody, and happy hunting.